Welcome to the Red to Black podcast with your hosts Werner and Mario. We invite you to like and comment on this episode because that tells the YouTube algorithm to share this with the world.
Appreciation is chasing popularity. It's chasing behavioral economics. It's chasing optimism. Right now, we see this with non-fungible tokens, NFTs. I guess they're these pieces of art that are digitally tracked on the blockchain. We see this definitely with cryptocurrency. The underlying value of these is very difficult to pinpoint, and it really should be, speaking to cryptocurrency, it should be valued based on its utility, not its scarcity. Going into NFTs, I can see like Disney. Disney has the world's largest portfolio of digital intellectual property that can be licensed for other people to print on shirts, on sweatshirts, on cups, on thermoses, on lunchbox. So they've got all these little characters and they license them out and make a great return on these little characters. There probably will be something like that in NFTs, but you'd be far better off evaluating the clearing market or the clearinghouse for those NFTs than actually investing, trying to predict which little NFT is going to be popular and people are going to pay to license it. So again, it's a popularity contest. These assets, quote unquote assets, cryptocurrency and NFTs, and I'll throw in tulip bulbs. These are popularity contests, and it's very difficult to figure out who's going to be popular 20 or 30 years from now.
Yeah, and what you'll find is a lot of the individuals that are pushing up, say, the tulip bulb craze or the NFTs or any of these other schemes or manias, these individuals, or most of them, are getting out when the mania starts going down the mountain on the other side, starts crashing. And what I mean by that is the individuals that start it are getting out while the other ones are getting in because of that fear of missing out. So that popularity is, a lot of it's run by fear of missing out because people, they want to make this quick buck. They're not focused on the underlying fundamentals. It's all about not setting up a foundation for performance. It's about getting what I want quickly. What are your thoughts on that?
You brought up an excellent point, Warner, about the real value, or the people that are making the most money are actually exiting the position to more optimistic people. There's a particular wine merchant in New Jersey. I'm not going to mention his name. We both respect his work when it comes to marketing, and he's got a great brand, and he's a hardworking guy, and he's going to do great things. Right now, he is selling NFTs into the market. I think they're going for about $6,500 to $7,500, and he's sold over 250 of these. So he's cleared over $1 million minus his expenses, setting up a web page, etc. He's over $1 million selling. I think there's 268, maybe 270 NFTs, and he has a vision, and he's selling it. He's doing a great job, but his position is a net. He's selling it to people that are more optimistic than him. He's actually exiting the position. He's selling the position. A lot of these guys that are the most vocal about cryptocurrencies are actually selling the position. They're not taking dollars and putting them into crypto. They're taking crypto, selling them into the market, and getting dollars. So that was an excellent point about look at what the guys are actually, basically taking advice from a barber about whether you need a haircut is a horrible person to get an opinion on, because he has a vested interest in selling. Yeah, you could use a trim up, and that's what you're doing when you're watching YouTube or you're looking at these popularity contests. A lot of the most active and vocal voices that you're experiencing, or you're taking in, or you're bringing knowledge from, are actually on the sell side. They're not on the buy side. So just be aware of that, gentlemen.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's a great point because you're not going to know what side you're on unless you understand the underlying fundamentals of a business. If you understand the underlying fundamentals of a business, then you'll see a mania from far out. And at times, I'm telling you, manias have caught me. I mean, I'm thinking, wow, maybe I should get in the NFT. Maybe I should get in the Bitcoin. But then I always remind myself, No, wealth is created over 20, 30, as you've said, 40 years. And it's created by putting in this foundational building block, like we talked about in the past podcasts, earning money, saving money, and reinvesting money, and doing that over and over again. And the only way you can grow your money is by investing in businesses that pay you to own them. Now, I got it. You can get an appreciation, make a lot of money, but that's not a long ball game, because at some point you're going to make a poor bet with all your money and you're going to lose the majority of it, because you're setting yourself up with the appreciation game to make bets based on popularity, fear of missing out, looking good. Oh man, this is just so amazing. I've never seen anything like this before. Whatever you tell yourself, that's the story with appreciation. Value investing based on fundamentals will always self-check you in terms of getting caught in this game of appreciation. How do you keep yourself from getting caught in this appreciation game?
Checklist, Warner. I have a very detailed, methodical approach before I'm going to put money to work, and it's got to pass this test, which is layers and layers deep of due diligence and checklists, and it prevents me from making wild decisions. I mean, we all can fall for this. NFTs, they actually they're very much interest me. But then I go back to, why wouldn't I buy Disney if I was so into NFTs? This is proven. These are proven non fungible tokens that could be traded over the blockchain. Every one of those Disney characters could be traded over the blockchain. They could license them. Anybody could use the Disney chain. Anybody in the world. Now, right now, if you wanted to go license, I think they have Star Wars as one of their properties. You're going to have to sign a pretty big contract. It's not going to be this one-off little tiny contract, but they could easily put Star Wars onto the blockchain, and you could use it on an individual basis, 10 uses, or any type of use on your website, and they just get a little tiny fraction of the advertising revenue you're drawing on your platform. But that's a much sounder investment to look at who's already the winners and how much money are they making. Let's weigh that. Let's weigh that decision versus chasing potential winners and optimism and popularity. That's a fool's game. The wise man, what the wise man does is he weighs out that decision with a checklist, and he looks at how many of these have won, what's their record, what's their track record going back 20, 30, 40, 50 years. How many of these little characters do they win? They win a lot of them. You're going to be hard pressed to find a better business if you're into digital characters than Disney.
So how I think about this is, why would Disney put their character on the open market? My opinion is they wouldn't, because that character generates so much cash flow. Why would they enable someone else to buy it unless they were selling that entire business to another business? Now, they may put a derivative of Disney on there with very, like you said, very strict stipulations of what you can and can't do with that. But they're never going to put Disney, in my opinion, into a digital space and allow someone to buy and have rights to that. Now, why?
There's going to be massive restrictions. So you can buy, if you want to print off sweatshirts in China or Sri Lanka or Vietnam with Disney characters on them. You can buy a license that allows you to use the licensed Disney characters on your sweatshirts or your thermoses or whatever you want to sell with a Disney character. You're right. When they actually want to license this to individuals, they're going to be very restrictive of how you use it. You can't use it that tarnishes the brand. And there's going to be some brands that they're not even going to do that. They have so much value in those brands, they're not going to license it out to individuals. But that's a much closer business to what NFTs should be traded at, is really the value of what is this worth to people to license it. So if somebody owns this NFT or this brand or this digital character, what are they willing to pay for it? And what's the history on that? These nonsense pieces of artwork that are selling for thousands of dollars are not going to weigh out in 20 or 30 years as much as the Disney characters that are proven, that have massive intellectual horsepower behind them.
Yeah, because there's a business model behind it, and that's what people are forgetting. What the wine merchant is selling, and all these other individuals who are selling NFTs, they're selling this digital art based on a craze, but there's no business behind it. So if there's no business behind it, what you're getting is the popularity, as you talked about, of the market.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. We invite you to get to know us by clicking on our LinkedIn profiles in the description of this video. Please subscribe, hit the bell notification for future updates, and share this content with your networks. Thank you for your valuable time and insights. We greatly appreciate it.